Kaaba is a representation of a direction for prayer, the Qibla. The first time a Qibla was oriented, as far as Abrahamic history is concerned, about Abrahamic peoples, is with the temple that Solomon built in dedication for the God of Abraham. And when he made the temple and he makes the prayer at the completion of the temple, he says in the prayer that God, please forgive, listen to, hear the prayer of anyone who turns their face towards this temple and prays. And this should be a place that's dedicated to your name, dedicated to your essence. So in the Quran, the Kaaba is also a place that was dedicated to God's essence. Now, there were many places that were dedicated to God, many altars that were made for the God of Abraham over the course of years. Abraham built many altars. The Kaaba was not the only one. But the Kaaba survived up until the time of Muhammad, peace be upon him. And it was known as a ancient shrine that once was attributed to Abraham and the God of Abraham. What happened was it became sort of a place to hang out, a place to just put your God, and people got lenient with, okay, well, it's dedicated to the God of Abraham, but over the course of time, you know how things are, okay, I'll put my God there, and then, people come to worship the God of Abraham here, but then I'll put my God here, and this guy will put his God here, and da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden you have hundreds of gods in this cubicle structure, which was originally dedicated to Abraham, that everybody knew, and no one contested, was originally dedicated to the God of Abraham. No one came and said to Muhammad, what are you talking about, peace be upon him, what are you talking about, a shrine dedicated to the God of Abraham? This is something new that you're just inventing. There is no recorded history saying that anyone accused Muhammad of inventing anything new. Everyone knew it was dedicated to the God of Abraham, but that it was just good for business. You got 360 idols in here from all these different tribes and peoples all across the area in the Levant and Mesopotamia and that region that all come here to worship their God, and we make a lot of money here. We have businesses, we have trade and merchants, and we make so much money with all these different people coming, worshiping their gods at this one location. So when Muhammad, peace be upon him, came on the scene and said, no, you can't do this. Idolatry is wrong. It's against, the tradition of Abraham, and it's totally false. We need to get rid of all these different idols and make this shrine, this altar, this place of worship originally what it was supposed to be, which was a dedication to the God of Abraham, a place of worship for only the God of Abraham, and make it sacred like how it originally was supposed to be. That's why you can't kill or commit violence or even slaughter any animals or kill any animals, no matter how small or big, unless it's microscopic, obviously, but you can't kill anything. It's a sacred area. There's no fighting, nothing like that in the sacred area, which is where the Kaaba is in Mecca. So this should help explain what this shrine is for. When Muslims pray towards it, they're not praying to the actual structure itself. It's just a place to face, to dedicate your worship towards, is what Muslims do when they face towards Mecca, towards the Kaaba, as a symbol for the oneness of God, God's presence, and the idea of what it originally was for, which was a shrine dedicated to the God of Abraham, that the Arabs had, that was what they had in remembrance for the one true God, the God of Abraham. That was their heritage, their tradition that was going all the way back to Ishmael and Abraham. The black stone is something that was one of the original stones used in building this shrine. And that's why many people get this misconception about the Muslims praying towards the black stone. The black stone, as a Muslim myself, I'll tell you, is nothing. It means absolutely nothing. The only thing that it has is sentimental value. The second caliph, Umar bin Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, there's a well-noted hadith in a strong hadith collection, because hadith has weak hadith, strong hadith. In the strongest of hadith collections, there's a well-known hadith that says that Umar ibn Khattab went and kissed the stone and said, I know you are a stone and you have no power to hurt me or benefit me. You have no power of your own, right? It's just a stone. I'm only kissing you because I saw the Prophet kiss you once. But Umar ibn Khattab hung out with the Prophet. He was a well-known companion. He spent so much time with the Prophet, and he knew that this stone means nothing other than what? Sentimental value. The Prophet himself kissed the stone because it represented something that went far back, that this was one of the original stones that was used in the building of this shrine dedicated to the God of Abraham. It got twisted, and over the time it became something where people started to not worship the stone but thought that it had power. They committed shirk, which is in Hebrew shituf, which is association or associating power with something other than God. And many Muslims still think this way today, and it's wrong. It's totally wrong. I've been to Mecca many times and had no interest in touching the stone or making my way to even uh, come near it or anything like that. I know that it's totally forbidden for me to think that way as a Muslim, and many Muslims still are not educated and understand their religion enough to know that that's something that's a false thing to do and that grew over time. I mean, the same thing happened with the Jewish people in the Wailing Wall. I mean, people put notes in the Wailing Wall and the stones, and they stick letters in there thinking that it has some sort of extra power that's going to make God grant their wishes even more. It's nothing. It's just a symbol. It has sentimental value to make you feel as if you have a connection to the past. And that's the same thing with the black stone. So I hope this clears up any misconceptions about the Kaaba, the direction for Muslim worship, and any questions or comments, please feel free to comment below, and I'll be happy to answer them. Assalamu alaikum.